Welcome into the Friday Night Showdown presented to you by Kaiser Permanente. It is game 2 of a huge 4-game set between the Braves and the Dodgers. As always, Joe Simpson and Chip Carey have the call coming up for you right now on Fox Sports South.
Fly ball, shallow center. Can anybody catch up to it? Oh, what a great grab, Camargo! Wow. A game-ending, game-saving grab by Johan Camargo.
My goodness, what a great play.
And what a great way to finish game 1 of a big 4-game series here in Los Angeles. The Braves snapped the Dodgers' 11-game win streak. Now the Braves try to start a streak of their own. It's Jaime Garcia and Alex Wood here before a packed house in Los Angeles. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Great way for the Braves to start this very long 3-city road trip, beginning with the Dodgers in Los Angeles. The big story today is who's starting for the Braves. Jaime Garcia is still here. He's getting the ball. He's pitching tonight and facing a Dodger club that has got a big lead in the National League West.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, we thought he'd be in Minnesota today from what all the rumors were saying yesterday, but it just proves to you that you cannot believe everything you read and hear until it's actually done. But Jaime Garcia is coming off a great start against the Arizona Diamondbacks at home. 7 innings, he only gave up 1 run, struck out 7 guys. I thought he had, watching the video of this, some of the best stuff he had all year. And he's going to need that tonight because the Los Angeles Dodgers are really good at hitting left-handed pitchers. They're 21-9 on the year against left-handed starters.
Jaime Garcia, great outing against Arizona. He's pitched very well on the road. He'll have to continue that trend against the Dodgers and Alex Wood. It's almost heresy to say anyone's pitching as well as Clayton Kershaw, but you might be able to stake the claim for Alex this year.
He only needs 9 1/3 innings to be eligible for the ERA lead. You're seeing a lot of high fastballs here. He has a good enough fastball to elevate. He's got a good slider. We know him from his days with the Atlanta Braves. He pitched well for Atlanta, but he's pitching even better this year for the Dodgers after coming off arthroscopic surgery on his elbow last year.
Braves snapped one 11-game win streak for Los Angeles. It'd be nice to break Alex Wood's perfect run here in 2017. It's a hot, sticky night in Los Angeles. Let's see if the Braves bats can boom early and often. Game 2 lineups and first pitch coming right up. night showdown, the Atlanta Braves and Los Angeles Dodgers, presented by Kaiser Permanente. Another big crowd filing into Dodger Stadium on a warm and muggy Friday night. Braves won last night 6-3. For these folks, 78 degrees and 57% humidity is rather uncomfortable. Forecast tonight, sunny and clear. And speaking of hot, that's exactly one way you could describe Alex Wood, who's got the ball for Los Angeles in Game 2. A lot of positives for Alex Wood, most notably, Joe, that 11-0 record.
He's almost as hot as our booth, and that's saying a lot. His last 10 starts, he's 9-0 with an 0.87 ERA, 62 innings. You kidding me? Just 6 earned runs, 91-94 fastball, curveball, and a changeup. You know about his delivery if you watched Alex pitch when he was with the Braves. It's kind of a funky delivery, and he uses that delivery to his best benefit, especially on his changeup and curveball. You might have noticed in some of his video that we showed at the start of the broadcast that he will elevate his fastball. It's good enough to get away with it up there for some strikeouts. He's been darn good.
And the Braves offense is going to have to be darn good the next 3 nights. 3 straight left-handed pitchers opposing the Atlanta starting lineup, which is anchored by Ender Inciarte and presented by Toyota. The Braves 5 for the last 55 against left-handed pitching. That needs to change in Game 2 tonight. So Ender Inciarte ready to go, and Wood's first is fouled straight back, and we're underway.
Braves sent a quick message last night, put 2 runs on the board early against Brandon McCarthy, and did not let up.
2 runs on 4 hits in that opening inning. And that was enough for Mike Fultonevich to pick up his 8th win of the season. Mike went 6 1/3 innings of 6-hit, 3-run ball for the Braves. Ender with 123 hits, second in the National League. He picked up his 37th multi-hit game here last night. There's that elevated fastball.
He likes to do that 0-2.
Little number back up the middle. Bare hand try by Seager, can't get it, and Ender Inciarte's aboard to start the game again for the Braves. An infield hit for Inciarte.
Change up, just rolled over it, but because Alex follows through over to the third base side, he could not field his position, and that put a lot of pressure on Seager to come up with a do or die play.
So Ender continues his great work against left-handed pitching. That brings up Johan Camargo. Johan in at second base tonight. Brandon Phillips aggravated his hamstring last night. He could probably pinch hit today. Might be back in the lineup tomorrow for the Braves. And Johan had a hit last night, but he was a real hit with the glove. He made 3 outstanding plays, 1 at short, 2 at second base last night.
Tremendous night for him. And his reward was that he got pelted with the rosin bag as he was walking off the field by one of his teammates.
1 ball, no strikes.
Ender had a word there for Ron Culpa at first base about where Alex was stepping on that throw over.
Taken down and in, ball 2.
Wood's last start came against Miami down in Florida. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts.
Smoke towards center. That ball is over the head of Kike Hernandez. Here comes Ender around third. They're going to wave him. Here comes the relay throw. Play at the plate is not in time. The ball got away. Now Camargo to third. He'll slide in safely, and the Braves strike first again.
My goodness, was that ball smoked. Hernandez got a pretty good jump on it, but it carried over his head. Fastball, bang. I mean, it jumped. Now, Ender had to freeze for a moment to make sure it got over Hernandez's head, and that's why this turned into a close play at the plate. And he was going to be out if Grandal had held on to the baseball. But Ender able to knock it loose. What a break.
So Atlanta strikes first, and now Freddie Freeman wails away. So Alex Wood, who gave up 3 hits, no runs in 6 innings, hasn't retired a hitter yet. He's down 1-0 again in the first inning.
Talked to Freddie before the ball game today. He is miserable, folks. He feels so bad. I asked him about it, did he feel any better, and he said maybe a little bit. I slept in a separate room last night from his family to get away from them so he didn't make them sick. So he slept pretty well, but his eyes are just as heavy as could be. He said, I'm so glad I didn't have to hit in the 9th inning last night. I don't think I could have picked up the bat.
Well, how about what he did in the first inning?
He said he was pretty much used up at that point.
I really thought he was going to lose his lunch when he got to third base.
So did Ron Washington. He was getting out of the way.
Well, all's well that ended well. Freddie with a Chipper Jones-like sicker than a dog 2-hit 2 RBI night. 2 balls 1 strike with Camargo at third base.
My sister's out here visiting. She's such a big fan of Freddie Freeman's, and she said, you know, I really admire people who can kind of get past illness like that and still play, because she said I sure couldn't. She said I just tell everybody I'd be in the bed.
Two balls 2 strikes. 1-0 Braves lead it. Pitch, and Freddie shoots one toward third. That'll be caught by Turner, who had Freddie play well. Wood sawed him off, and there's the first out. As good as the Braves looked in the first inning last night, scoring twice, they could have scored 3, maybe 4 runs. And as much run support as Alex Wood gets, you can't let these scoring opportunities go by the boards, especially with his run support and how stingy he is early in the game.
Yeah, not only is he pitching great and a microscopic ERA, but he's getting about 7 runs a game of support. It's kind of overkill. Great opportunity here for Kemp. He's got good numbers against Wood, and the infield is in.
Wood continues to stretch. The pitch to Kemp, and a swing and a miss. Those are the good numbers. The last 5 games, the Braves had 5 combined hits against left-handed pitching. They've got 2 hits in the first inning against the hottest left-hander on the planet, not named Clayton Kershaw. Little roller, that is a fair ball. Throw to first is going to be in time. Turner got to that ball before it had a chance to bounce foul. He's stolen out, and now Kemp's retired, and it's up to Tyler Flowers if the Braves would bring home Camargo.
And for Tyler, if he was paying attention, Alex Wood started Matt Kemp with 2 off-speed pitches, 2 breaking balls. Check swing on one, little slow roller on the other. Did not go after him with a fastball early in the count.
Tyler Flowers also with a lot of success against Alex Wood. He's faced him 3 times. He's got 3 hits against him. And he's looking for his 30th RBI here in the top of the first inning. Braves lead 1-0.
Started him with off speed.
Jerry Meals said ball 1. All this started with a little infield hit that Seager couldn't handle with a bare hand up the middle. And then Camargo with a line drive over Kike Hernandez's head in center field. Inciarte scored when Grandal dropped the ball at the plate. He would have been out. So that man has a lead before he's thrown a pitch.
If you're wondering about left-handed, right-handed splits for Alex Wood, it's, well, look at it this way. Left-handers are really killing him by comparison. 192, and you see, yes, that's not a typo. He's only given up 2 home runs in 87 innings.
Smoke to left field. It's 2-0. So Tyler Flowers picks up Freeman and Kemp with his 30th RBI. The Braves, like last night, score twice.
And he got a pitch up, but Wood didn't get it high enough. Breaking ball that actually looked like a hanger. Not a fastball. Great 2-out hitting.
So 3 hits against Wood in the first inning. That brings up Nick Markakis. Nick was 0 for 2 officially last night. He walked twice. And he smacks one into center field. That's going to get down for a hit. The Braves have 4 first inning tallies against Alex Wood. So Rick Honeycutt wondering what in the world's happened to Alex Wood so far tonight.
To put this in perspective, another high fastball. His last start, I told you, against Miami, he gave up 3 hits. Start before that, 3 hits in 7 innings. 2 hits in 6 innings. 3 hits in 6 innings. Last time he gave up 4 hits in a game was June 16th over 8 innings at Cincinnati, and he won 3-1.
So far, so very good for the Braves. Here's Sean Rodriguez looking for his first hit as a Brave. He's 0 for 6. And Grandal snagged that for a strike.
Alex has pitched against his old team 1 time last year, and he got beat 8-1, but did pitch into the 8th inning and gave up 7 hits and 6 runs. 3 were earned.
Flowers at second, Markakis at first. And he got the corner call there. A ball and 2 strikes.
Good backdoor pitch there. .6'4", 220 now. 26 years old. 4th year out of Charlotte.
Little pop. That's headed for Puig in right. He says he's got it, and he does. Atlanta tags Alex Wood for 2 runs on 4 first inning hits. Camargo and Flowers with RBIs. has had another great start tonight. An RBI double and a run scored, part of a 2-run first for the Braves. Something I know Jaime Garcia appreciates before he throws a pitch tonight in Los Angeles.
No doubt about it. It's 3-7 on the year, 4.33 ERA. But take a look at this. This is outstanding stuff. It's 2 outs where he has most of his problem. A 280 batting average against him, a 371 on base percentage, predominant number of his walks, all coming with 2 out. He's got to correct that tonight. His 4 keys to pitching success. Number 1, B to B, back to back. Duplicate what you did against Arizona, and you better bring your A game tonight. You better hit your marks, because these guys can rake against left-handed pitching.
As you said, they're 21-9 against lefties. They've hit 47 home runs against lefties. And they've had almost twice as many at-bats against lefties than the Braves team has this year. And Jaime starts with a red-hot hitter, Chris Taylor, who had 2 hits last night. 3 consecutive multi-hit games for him. And he's got the 5th highest average in the National League against southpaws this year. So, stern test for Jaime Garcia.
And leading their team in batting average in July. That's saying something with Justin Turner on your team.
11 homers, 40 knocked in for Taylor. And yanked out of play, a foul.
I was talking to Brian Snitker about Taylor before the game tonight, and he said, yeah, I'm looking at this guy saying, where did they get him? Where did he come from? And the answer is he came from the Mariners organization. But he said, boy, was the ball jumping off his bat, and it just did again, albeit foul.
Fly ball center, not much carry to it, and Ender's going to catch that one. There's out number 1. A look at the Dodgers starting lineup. Dave Roberts is their skipper. They're 10.5 games up in the National League West. Corey Seager bats second on their Toyota starting 9. Then you got Turner, Bellinger, Forsythe, Kike Hernandez in center, Grandal, Puig, and Alex Wood 7th, 8th, and 9th. Let me ask a question about Jaime Garcia. What is his mindset tonight? You know he's on social media. You know he read all the stuff that was out and circulated that the Braves were talking about a deal to Minnesota. That obviously hasn't happened tonight, and he has to prepare for this start. Does that have an effect on how he approaches this game and this team?
If the look on his face before the game when I talked to him is any indication, I don't know if you believe in game face or not, man, oh man, was he focused. And he was looking at some video from the Dodgers hitters, and very
to second, right at Camargo.
Concentrating really hard on it and almost oblivious to anything around him. I mean, there was a scowl on his face, so I think he was very much into this and trying not to be distracted.
This is an exciting time for fans. I'm sure this is a nerve-wracking time for players, no matter how long they've been in the major leagues, to await the July 31st deadline. How difficult is that to compartmentalize and go play?
Well, it depends on how much you want to read. It's like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, can't believe everything you read or hear, and until it's actually a done deal and approved by the Major League Baseball office, there is no trade. So as a player, you can drive yourself crazy trying to find out where you're going to go if you want, but the best idea is for you to just pay attention to your job at hand until they tell you to hand over your uni.
2 up, 2 down with Turner, the Dodger third baseman, standing in, and he fouls that one out of play. Turner at 369 for the year. Not surprisingly, he is absolutely destroying left-handed pitching this year. This guy, as you said last night, was almost an extra guy with the Mets. He's turned into a superstar with the Dodgers. High fly ball. That's pretty well hit. Kemp, though, to the edge of the track, is going to have room. A shutdown inning for Jaime Garcia. He enjoys a 2-0 lead after 1 in Los Angeles.
versus the Dodgers. And if you watched Braves Live last night, you saw Kurt Suzuki tell us that he will be going back to Maui today for his grandmother's funeral, and he'll meet the team back in Arizona on Monday. Now, to fill that spot, Anthony Recker comes up to be the backup catcher, and to make room on the 40-man roster, Eric O'Flaherty has been released. So Chip and Joe, a new backup catcher, but we'll have Kurt Suzuki back here really soon.
Yeah, and we expressed our condolences to Kurt last night, and we do the same to Kurt and his entire family. And thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Suzuki family, and it's good to have Anthony Recker back tonight as the Braves go back to work in the second inning with Dansby Swanson leading off, Garcia, then Ender Inciarte to follow.
I'm looking for Dansby to have a big night. No particular reason. Just watched his batting practice. Thought he had some good swings last night. And by a good night, whether it's by hits or walks or anything else, getting on base a couple of 3 times would be a big night, no matter how he gets on.
1 ball, 1 strike for Dansby Swanson, and that's popped out of play. One more note on Eric O'Flaherty's release today, and Eric pitched so well for the Braves for a long time. Injuries just really ravaged him over the last couple of seasons. Today is the exact date of his 10th full year in the major leagues.
Is that right?
So he's fully vested with regards to his pension, which is a nice gesture by the Braves to wait that long. And if this is the end of the line for Eric, I don't know if it is. If it is, he had a great career.
He's been a terrific professional.
Yes, sir.
And really had to work harder than most to get back and continue to pitch with all the injuries he had. Good breaking ball by Wood to put Dansby away. Maybe those hits will come next time around.
A strike to Garcia, who's 4 for 28 this year at the plate. He's swinging it, boy. He's
got a good swing.
Don't get cheated up there. Popped up right in the middle of the diamond. Who wants it? It'll be Bellinger. He squeezes it with the right hand. Garcia pops out. Woods retired 3 straight. Here comes Ender for the second time in as many innings.
When you give up 1 run in the first inning, as Alex Wood did, and had a runner at third, and you get 2 outs, you start feeling pretty good about yourself. You're thinking, all right, I'm going to be able to get out of this. And only 1 run, that's no big deal. But the Braves were able to capitalize on Flowers' base hit to get a second run. That's a big deal. 2-out base hit that it took to get Camargo in. It's a little different mindset. And Alex Wood right there was going into the stretch and realized he didn't have anybody on base, and now he's back in the windup.
Not a bad idea. Ender bunts 1 foul.
So maybe a little distracted, lack of concentration. You wouldn't know it by these numbers. And he was averaging 5.5 hits per 9. He gave up 4 in the first.
No balls and a strike. That pushes Ender off the plate. His first inning run was the 67th for Ender Inciarte in 95 games. I asked him, is there a secret to why he's hitting left-handed pitching so well? He said, not really. He said a couple of years ago he had 1 bad year where he didn't feel very comfortable against lefties. But when he was with the Diamondbacks and Kirk Gibson was the manager, he played almost exclusively against left-handed pitching. Remember, they had Mark Trumbo on that team. They had Pollock. They had Peralta. Well, those were the days where Ender Inciarte would pitch. And he said, yep, so I was the guy that got Kershaw. I got Bumgarner all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're going to survive in the National League West, you better learn how to hit those guys. Boy, has he done it this year. 9th best average against lefties at .350. And he swings and misses that one. 2 strikeouts for Wood in the inning and a perfect frame to boot. 2-0 Atlanta.
Your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
Well, like the Braves, the Dodgers have a very unique interactive baseball museum right behind the press box down the right field concourse. Those are some of the old Dodger equipment trunks that they have on display, as well as a lot of signed baseballs, lucite encased lockers. I mean, just a great living representation of some of the cool stuff that has made up this wonderful Dodger franchise. Neat display as well right behind home plate, in the elevator section, all the Dodger gold gloves on display from, Lord, the last 30-40 years.
From the Brooklyn days too.
Up and into Cody Bellinger, 2 balls, no strikes. I mean, it's just an amazing thing to walk into this ballpark, and it looks as beautiful as I'm sure it was the day it opened. Amazing. 2-0. Bellinger hits one a long way the other way, but Kemp will gallop over. He's got it. Garcia has retired the first 4 Dodgers in order.
Good pitch there, behind in the count.
Second baseman number 11.
Ran it in on him a little bit.
Here's Logan Forsythe.
One thing that helped last night with Mike Foltynewicz in the bullpen is that they only walked 3 guys. This team leads the National League in walks. So while the Dodgers had 7 hits and they had a 2-run homer, they didn't make things worse by walking a bunch of people. 2 walks by Foltynewicz, 1 by Jim Johnson in the 9th.
Shift on for Forsythe, who takes a bell tie strike. Yeah, with all the thunder they've got, you do not want to give up any extra outs. Dodgers have outscored the rest of baseball by 178 runs in their first 96 games. Broken bat, line to first, and Freddie Freeman's got it. Forsythe is the second out.
I know you think I'm exaggerating. That took a lot of effort. I'm surprised he had the energy to jump. I mean, he literally told me last night he was due up next when Swanson made the last out for the Braves in the 9th inning, and he said, first time ever, I was hoping I didn't have to hit.
That is a professional effort, to say the least. Kike Hernandez, the batter. 10 homers, 27 RBIs for him. They just missed.
Didn't get the call from Jerry Meals, but that's a good spot. Can live there tonight.
He's got all of his pitches so far tonight.
Good two-seamer there.
Five outs on 16 pitches. You'll take that ratio. 1-1 for Hernandez. And another one.
Straight change there. He's thrown a couple of those already.
So 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a bounding ball hit toward third. Sean Rodriguez loads up, fires across in time, and Jaime Garcia 6 up, 6 down. Part of the order coming up for Atlanta, leading by 2. Mobile app for live Braves baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Atlanta Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Joe, you can't start any better than Jaime Garcia has, can you?
No, it's wonderful. 9 pitches each inning. He's sharp and keeping the ball down. Locating his fastball, which is priority 1.
So the second time through the order for Alex Wood and Johan Camargo, who doubled in the opening inning.
So kid's getting some people talking, isn't he?
Yeah.
Finally. That catch he made last night made the airwaves and replays. It was a dandy.
1 ball, no strikes as the Braves tip off the third inning, and a little blooper toward first. Bellinger takes a peek, and he's going to have room in front of the new seats. Camargo's retired for out number 1. As I said, Johan had an excellent game last night. Made 2 spectacular plays up the middle, but it was this fantastic 9th inning catch that really saved Jim Johnson and kept the game from being dangerously close in the 9th.
I told Brian Snitker I've never seen anybody, a middle infielder with his back of the infield, catch a ball like that. Instead of having to catch it like a basket catch over the shoulder, he reached up almost like he was facing the infield. Here come the crossing backs.
I'm shocked he didn't catch that too. But I think you're right about the discussion about Camargo. You talk to scouts, you talk to baseball people. What's his position going to be? Where's he best suited to play? Is he an everyday guy at a position on the infield? Is he better served being a super utility guy who plays 5 times a week at 4 different positions? What a wonderful luxury it is to have, to think about a guy like Camargo who can do so many things at the plate, switch hits, and can play so well with that plus arm on the infield.
I don't think that issue about where does he play will come into play. It's just who else is going to play today, and then you can put Johan wherever you want, because as long as he keeps hitting like this, he's going to be in there. Interesting device that he was putting on after he hit there. Almost to eliminate any hyperextension. That's on his throwing arm. We'll see if he's got it on when he goes back out.
Either that or he's a modern day Steve Austin, a $6 million man.
Yeah. It won't be long.
He's got a $6 million arm already. Yeah. Ground ball into the shift. And that sneaks through. So Freddie Freeman went down and golfed one past Turner, and he's got the 5th Atlanta hit of the game and his first single tonight.
Well, the Dodgers with their shift moved the third baseman over. And the third baseman didn't have the range of the other guys up the middle and couldn't get to it. Freddie will take it.
His 3rd hit of the series. So Wood back to the stretch. Matt Kemp is the Braves hitter. Was happy to see Matt get a warm reception from the Dodger fans here last night. At least for his first at bat. They remember the good years he had wearing Dodger blue. One ball, no strikes.
That's why he sees a lot of off speed. That was not a strike a minute ago.
Somebody might be reminding Jerry Meals of that. A ball and a strike. Ground ball hit towards short. That's going to be a double play. Kemp's hitting to 21 of them now for Atlanta. And that ends the top of the 3rd inning. Jaime Garcia faces the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Dodgers next. Exception, that's Christina Aguilera, terrific pop songstress, 5 Grammy Award winners and a star already on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She sold almost 18 million albums in the U.S.
Man.
Very talented lady. So Yasmani Grandal leads off. He hit a homer here last night. Jaime Garcia 6 up, 6 down, 18 total pitches. And Oakland's out of play, right side by Grandal. Strike one. Grandal came to LA from the Padres in 2014. A switch hitting catcher. And that just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jaime's ready with his 1-2 pitch. Grandal barely able to keep the at-bat alive. Padres got Matt Kemp for Yasmani Grandal. Big deal right before Christmas 2014. Zach Eflin, Joe Weiland, Yasmani Grandal for Kemp, Tim Fedorowicz, and Cash. Grandal out of Cuba, moved to the U.S. when he was 10, went to Miami Springs, Florida High School. And bouncing ball sneaks past Sean Rodriguez, and Grandal legs out an infield hit. Nice play by Dansby to get a glove on it, but no chance to throw out Grandal. And Garcia will go to the stretch for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Dansby is going to even bother throwing this, except that he looked and realized it was Grandal running. Thought, well, why not? Couldn't get anything on the throw from this position. Boy, that grass is beat up out there, isn't it? But they had a concert or something that chewed it up.
Yasiel Puig batting .248, right-handed hitter, surprisingly hitting only .171 against lefties. Bouncing ball, Rodriguez. He'll fire to second for 1. Camargo with a laser, and Freddie picked it. What a play!
My goodness.
He knew he had to hurry, and he turned it loose, and Freeman snagged it to complete the double play.
And he just threw almost blindly here. Boy, Grandal better get down. Such a tough hop to handle for Freddie, too, and he did. That was an amazing play on both ends. Puig gets into a ton of double plays, too. You're talking about Matt Kemp. That's 17 for Puig.
Alex Wood takes a strike. He's 2 for 32 at the plate with 19 strikeouts. Two 0 Atlanta. Garcia's faced the minimum through 2 2/3 so far. And he paints the corner. 0-2. And a swing and a miss. A promising inning comes to an abrupt end for the Dodgers. Jaime Garcia is dealing and leading by 2. 2 runs on 5 hits overall for the Braves. 4 of those 5 came in an opening inning ambush against Alex Wood. And as we look, Joe, at our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot, something that parallels the overall Braves improvement this year is their better work against the National League West this year.
Outstanding work. 13 and 5, 5 runs a game, good ERA. Kind of started with a big sweep of the Padres at home to open up SunTrust Park. Swept the Diamondbacks at home the other day. And off to a great start here to begin this road trip.
So to the 4th we go. Tyler Flowers with a huge 2-out hit. It scored Johan Camargo to put the Braves in front 2-0. That's where we stand now. Jaime Garcia has thrown 9 pitches in each of his first 3 innings. Alex Wood is about to throw his 47th pitch for Los Angeles. And that's lined out of play. You mentioned the funky motion of Alex Wood and the difficulty that presents hitters. The way I described it when he was a Brave, he's going backwards and forwards at the same time.
That was just perfect, too. One of the things that concerned the Braves were his mechanics and what effect long-term that would have on his arm. But as Paul Snyder advised the Braves scouting department when they drafted him, he said, don't change him. This is the way he pitches. This is his motion. This is what's natural to him. Well, the fear that the Braves had was close to being realized last year. He had some elbow inflammation. He had some soreness, and they had to do arthroscopic surgery on his elbow. It was not Tommy John. They had to clean some things up in there, and he missed some time last year.
So that injury for Alex Wood forced him to go back with Rick Honeycutt and go back to the drawing board and look at his mechanics dating all the way back to his days at the University of Georgia. A lot of folks might forget Alex Wood was the Friday night pitcher for the Bulldogs. I mean, he was the #1 top of the rotation guy, and he feels like he's gotten back to some of those mechanics. And Joe, as a result, he's added a couple of miles an hour on his fastball now, which certainly doesn't hurt. Not to mention impeccable control like that.
His command, it was never poor. He always was able to hit some spots. But again, his reliance on that motion to really offset hitters' timing on his changeup and curveball, that was his stock and trade. Last loss, May 30th. That was before the arthroscopic surgery. Came back healthy and great for the full year this year. The May pitcher of the month in the National League, went 5-0, and it hasn't slowed down.
So what he is doing this year, and what you know Clayton Kershaw usually does, what a 1-2 punch the Dodgers have for their rotation, as this one's squibbed by Markakis out of play, and he's down 2 strikes. There's some talk today that the Dodgers might be thinking about trying to add to their rotation as well, with the struggles of Brandon McCarthy last night. Some say the Dodgers may be linked to Yu Darvish of the Texas Rangers.
One would think that they're looking for a right-hander.
Yeah.
They've got plenty of lefties.
And that's a little low.
Alex thought he had him struck out.
Base is empty, 1 out, 4th inning. And a base hit from Markakis. He's 2 for 2 against a lefty. And now he's 11 hits away from 2,000.
This was Nick Markakis at his best. Watch him wait, foot down, a little slight hesitation right there, knee bent, and then he goes the other way.
I loved your interview with Nick Markakis when he talked about what his philosophy with hitting was, and that's exactly the point he made. He likes to see the ball travel, and it's still quick enough to put it in play when it gets, I guess you'd use the term, deep.
Yes.
In the strike zone.
Yes, and that looked like a breaking ball, so that's why he had that just split-second pause and didn't take his hands with him. Still had something left in his swing.
So he's aboard for Sean Rodriguez, who had the tower buzzed. 1 ball, no strikes.
This was, I'll be honest with you, this part of the order concerned me tonight. Because you have Sean, who's still looking for his first hit after coming back from the disabled list. He doesn't have that many at bats. Came in 0 for 11, did not hit that much when he was on rehab. You had Dansby, who was coming in 5 for 45, and then the pitcher. Hope is that they'll all break out. Sean to get his first hits, Dansby to get back on track and keep going.
They're going to have a lot of opportunities against lefties the rest of the series. Rich Hill and Clayton Kershaw to follow for Los Angeles. Tonight it's Alex Wood, who just missed low.
And that's why the strained hamstring for Brandon Phillips really rears its ugly head here, because the way he was swinging the bat, the way he hits lefties, you hate to have him not in the lineup.
Might be good to go tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. First the pitch. It's cut on and missed. Making your plans to catch the Braves and Dodgers tomorrow night. We will be on the air at 8:30 with Braves Live. First pitch at 9:10. Julio Teheran and Rich Hill joining an hour earlier. On Saturday night, the pitch is outside. Good eye for Rodriguez. Alex Wood issues his first walk, and the Braves are in business with 2 on and 1 out.
Number 7, Dansby Swanson.
Alex upset with himself for missing so badly there. He wasn't able to get Sean to even offer, and this may go back a little bit to Alex's reaction when he didn't get the strikeout on Markakis. Remember, he kind of froze, thought he had him, and Nick wound up getting a base hit, now a walk.
Well, that's one thing I think we all appreciated when Alex was a member of the Braves. This is an ultra competitive guy. I mean, he's as tough as they come. So let's see what Dansby can do here. He struck out swinging in the Braves' second. Is 0 for 3 so far in the series. High fly ball toward right. Puig on the run, sprinting toward the corner. He's on the warning track and makes the catch. The runners will tag and advance on a deep fly out by Dansby Swanson. It's always interesting here at Dodger Stadium when a ball is hit toward the corners, because you have the outfielder sprinting toward the line, and in the background you've got the security guard running with a chair and running for his or her dear life.
I've never seen that before here, but that's exactly what I guess he's taught to do. Dansby hit that ball pretty well right into the corner, right by the foul pole. Yeah, it's like he's sprinting to try to run over to the bullpen or something. The security guy. Wall is too high for him to jump over, I guess.
Well, the Braves pitchers have helped themselves a time or two in spots like this. Let's see if Garcia can bring home Markakis or Rodriguez or both of them. That would be the best of all worlds. He popped out his first time up. Second and third, 2 outs. Big 2-out hit from Tyler Flowers, scored a second run. If the ball gets away from Grandal, you figured Nick would be able to score with all the foul ground behind home plate.
Almost. really shortens up for him, especially Taylor in left.
One ball, one strike. One of these days he's going to connect. Just missed that pitch. Now he's behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Had him off stride and popped it up.
They don't see it.
Alex Wood's the only one that could see it. He drops the ball. Fair ball. 2-run score. Garcia to second. Bellinger never found it. Alex Wood dropped it in fair territory, and the Braves get 2.
Chip, I'm looking out from our vantage point, and as soon as it got above the tree line out there, I lost it. So I immediately went to Bellinger, and he had his arms out. He didn't know where it went. Great hustle here to keep running by Sean Rodriguez, and Alex booted it.
Wow. You know how many times we say put the ball in play and something good might happen? There is example A, and it's 4-0 Atlanta in front. 3 of these runs have come with 2 outs.
Alex Wood's a good fielder. He feels his position helps himself out a lot. He has good reactions. But that's exactly why, in normal circumstances, you just want the pitcher to be a traffic cop. Let the position player come in, catch the high pop-ups. He had no choice but to try to catch that one. Nobody saw it but him.
And what a lonely feeling that has to be in the center of the diamond when you're hoping, instead of knowing you can catch it. In a run-scoring situation, Wood couldn't, hit off his glove, and the Braves score Markakis and Rodriguez to lead 4-0. Unbelievable. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's keep adding on. Pitch. Strike 2.
This inning is really going to eat at Alex Wood after he thought he had struck out Markakis for the 2nd out of the inning. He'd only given up 2 unearned runs all year in 14 starts. Just gave up 2 more.
He's only given up 17 runs total. He's given up 4 tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves scored 2 in the first inning again. They've added 2 more gift runs here in the 4th. Taken low.
All you kids at home that were watching that play, it's just such a great example of what Sean Rodriguez did running from second when the runners all tagged up, both tagged up and advanced on the fly ball by Dansby. But on the pop-up, a routine pop-up, you know it's going to be caught most of the time. Sean Rodriguez was hustling from second and scored right behind Markakis.
And now Wood walks in Ciarte, and his pitches are starting to pile up. That's frustrated man in the middle of the diamond. Now he's got to face Camargo with 2 on, 2 in, and 2 out. And on cue, Rick Honeycutt, the Dodgers pitching coach, will come out for a chat. This is only the 3rd game for Alex Wood this year, where he's given up as many as 4 runs. He'd given up 3 earned runs in his last 5 total starts. He'd given up 6 earned runs in his last 10 starts.
He's only got a handful, if that, of no decisions. But one of those no decisions is a 6-inning, 1-hit shutout effort that he did not get a decision on.
So he must have left with some base runners on. No, it couldn't have been. He left nothing. And the Dodgers, it says the score was 3-0 when he got taken out of the game. How's that happen?
I don't know.
That was on April 26th.
Typo.
Could be. He'd like it to be a typo, that's for sure. He'd like a reset here, but he's got a tough hitter up there in Camargo. Boy, did the ball explode off his bat in his first time up. Johan hitting .417 against lefties. And a swinging butt. Grandal pounces, fires to first in time, and that's the inning. The Braves get a couple of runs. Alex Wood lost a pop-up in the twilight. And great base running by Markakis and Rodriguez. They take advantage. 2 more runs score, and it's 4-0.
To you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Delta Airlines.
Atlanta 4, Dodgers nothing. A critical 2-run error by Alex Wood adds to the Braves total here in Game 2 on a beautiful Friday night in Southern California. Time for tonight's Toyota Tweet of the Week. This week's question is, what's your favorite stadium, past or current, to watch a baseball game, and why? Your answer could be seen on the Braves Live post-game show. Tweet us at Fox Sports Braves using the hashtag #BrilliantBallpark. And this one in Los Angeles, tough to beat.
It is.
Well, speaking of brilliant, Jaime Garcia has been brilliant his first time through this Dodger lineup. He's faced the minimum. He's allowed 1 hit. He's thrown 9 pitches in the first inning, second inning, and third inning. And now he's got Chris Taylor to lead off the home fourth. And a quick strike at the knees. See if Jaime can improve that second time through the order number tonight.
That's one of the reasons all year long he has been seemingly dynamite for the first 5 innings, sometimes into the 6th. That third time through the order begins to kind of wear on him.
One ball, 2 strikes. Come to think of it, a pitch that has given him trouble is that breaking ball. I don't recall him throwing a lot of them so far tonight.
No, he's been mostly fastball changeup and using his two-seamer. Ball's really moving down.
4 outs via ground ball for Garcia tonight. And that's going to be the 5th. Comebacker takes care of Chris Taylor. 1 up, 1 down.
Another good changeup.
Number 5, Corey Seager.
Here's Seager. Corey Seager bounced out to second his first trip. Well, in some ways, this Dodger team reminds me of the ones you played on. So many homegrown players that have been drafted, developed the Dodger way, as it were, and here they are. Terrific young offensive core, in some ways like the Cubs, team we just saw in Atlanta.
Very much so. And from an age standpoint, very similar to the Cubs.
That moved Seager off the plate. Seager, a first-round pick, 18th overall in 2012. Already a 2-time All-Star. And fouled away.
Dodgers were very good, as the Braves have been, at keeping groups of players together that were successful. If you won a championship in any minor league class, more than likely 2/3, if not 3/4 of the players on that team are going to move up the next year together. The Braves did that. Remember that great team Atlanta had at Greenville that won 100 games in AA? Those guys, they kept all those guys together, moved them up together, and they came up to the big leagues together.
Well, it's interesting you make that point, because you look at the Rookie of the Year winners for the Dodgers. They come in bunches.
Yeah.
Rick Sutcliffe, Steve Howe, Fernando Valenzuela, Steve Sachs, 79, 80, 81, and 82.
4 straight years.
Then Eric Karros, Mike Piazza, Raul Mondesi, Hideo Nomo with an asterisk, and Todd Hollinsworth from 92 through 96. Last year, Corey Seager. This year, I'm guessing Cody Bellinger has to be the odds-on favorite as the Dodger first baseman. I mean, that's remarkable how much they were bunched up.
Well, that is a ton of rookies of the year, isn't it?
Yep. 17 in Dodger history.
Mr. Valenzuela doing Spanish broadcast radio with the great Jaime Garcia, Hall of Famer.
The 2-2. Did he go? No signal at the plate. Apparently not. Full count.
If it rolled all the way to the backstop, I wouldn't ask for help.
Yeah, right. Unless I was running, and then, you might have a chance. Probably have a real good chance. Justin Turner waits on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jaime hasn't had many deep counts tonight. Tough to do when you throw 9 pitches per inning. Swing and a miss. Seager didn't get it.
One of the things I'm noticing about Jaime tonight is he's a little more deliberate. I mean, he got the signal, he got set, and he really took his time concentrating on this breaking ball. 3-2 pitch. He made a beauty with it. But he was in no hurry once he got the sign to rush into it. He was very deliberate, took his time, and made an outstanding pitch.
What does that do to you as a hitter?
Well, they probably don't notice. They don't see him enough. We see him, so I realize that he slowed his pace down a little bit on that 3-2 to concentrate. And so far, so good in that department tonight.
2 quick outs for Justin Turner, who flied out to Matt Kemp. And a swinging bunt.
See, even there, that windup was a little faster. It was a little quicker, getting his foot set on the rubber. His leg kick was higher and faster. I was just very impressed with that breaking ball and how he was focused on making a good pitch with it.
And as we said, that is a pitch that has been problematic at times for Garcia. So
yes, sir.
A good sign that he can have that in his back pocket later on if he needs it. Way upstairs to a man that has absolutely devastated left-handed pitching all year long. Turner hitters play with the top average in the National League, top average against lefties in the National League.
And a cool 442.
That's out of play. It's now even 2-2.
442 is not bad coming into tonight's game.
I was going to say that average on top never gets old.
He's doing okay right against right-handers too.
Yeah.
If you like that sort of thing.
He's got him set up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you have to forgive me sometimes, Chip. You could say, what's your name? And I will have thought you said, where are you from? Because through this PA system, it's so loud, I can't hear half of what you say.
Well, just remember there's only 7 things you can't answer with. You'll be in good shape.
Huh?
Here comes the 2-2, just missed. Full count. So as good a job as Turner has done all year, that'll raise your hair, won't it?
That's hot.
Full count pitch. And it's a base hit down the left field line. That's going to bounce off the fence. Turner around first. He earns a 2-out double. That's the first Dodger to second base tonight. And it brings up Cody Bellinger.
He got him out in the first inning on a pitch similar to this. We got him out on his front foot, and he hit that deep fly to left. He was fooled again, but this time he was able to get enough on it to get it past Rodriguez. So it was not a bad pitch. He fooled him. He's got to credit Turner.
Bellinger flied out his first time up. This kid's hit 26 homers. He was called up April 25th. And he's filled in beautifully for Adrian Gonzalez. Ball 1. What a luxury that is. You lose a player the caliber of Adrian Gonzalez, you go to your farm and you have Bellinger come up and hit 26 homers in about half the season.
You know you're doing good when that happens.
Man. Pitch is a little low. So here's the 2-out scenario for Jaime Garcia. First heavy workload of the night for him. League hitting .280 against Garcia this year with 2 outs. Perfectly positioned was Dansby Swanson, and Garcia gets another ground ball out. Turner left stranded. We are through 4 in Los Angeles. The Braves have Freeman, Kemp, and Flowers coming up, looking to extend a 4-0 lead. 11-0 Alex Wood. Freddie Freeman will lead off for the Braves, a third inning single, part of his 1-for-2 night. And Freeman takes a called strike. Four runs on 6 hits for the Braves. The Dodgers shut out so far on 2 hits.
There was another badly missed location for Alex Wood. Showed you his frustration. Grandal wanted the pitch up, and it was down and away, and that one was down. He hasn't walked a ton of guys. He's walked 2, both last inning, but he's off the mark.
Right there, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's the shift. He was able to squeeze one through the right side past Turner his last time up.
Now he shoots one toward left center field. That ball is gone. An opposite field homer for Freddie Freeman.
That's the first home run by a left-handed hitter against Alex Wood this year.
He didn't need another biscuit for breakfast today. That was a laser beam over the left field fence.
Well, he couldn't have kept it down if he did.
Good point.
This guy is amazing. Freddie. He's weak as a puppy, and he's just playing his tail off. Heads up in the nachos.
That's a smart Braves fan. You're not giving up them nachos even for a Freeman home run.
Oh, he knows there'll be other opportunities.
There you go. So what a night for Atlanta. 5-0. The Dodger fans are stunned. I think Alex Wood is too. And now Matt Kemp gets in on the fun. Back-to-back Atlanta hits.
Tried to turn that ball over a little bit. Sinker stayed up enough for Matt to drive it the other way.
Flowers 1 for 2. Big 2-out hit in the first inning. He struck out back in the 4th. Braves are trying to hand the Dodgers back-to-back losses for the first time since the first week of June.
That would be remarkable because of the way they were playing.
The Braves entered this series facing a Dodger team that had won 31 of 35 games and 18 of 19 on their home field. Atlanta's trying to come to town and take 2 straight in this 4-game series, and about halfway through you like their chances to this point.
I think most folks at home can relate to this in this regard. If a professional baseball player's got a physical problem, he's got a sore arm, he's got a sore knee, calf, whatever it is, they figure out ways to play with it. They treat it, they wrap it, they deal with it. They're not 100%, but they deal with it. When you're sick and you can't even get out of bed and you're doing what Freddie's doing, I think you can all relate to like a stomach virus, and how in the world is he doing this?
Four hits in this series for Freddie Freeman. He has knocked in 3 runs in the first 2 games of this series.
Hats off. Hats off to that gentleman.
The Dodger bullpen begins to stir as Alex Wood readies with a 2-1 pitch. And that's hammered down the left field line.
And that was a hanger. That was almost a real costly mistake. We've said it before. We'll say it again. Braves can hit. They certainly run through their periods like they did against some good pitching with the Cubs. Things like that happen. But they can hit and score runs. When they get a well-pitched game, they're in good shape to win.
2-2 pitch. And what's super encouraging is, again, the Braves' previous 5 games, they had 5 total hits against a left-handed pitcher. They have 8 hits, 5 runs against a man that's 11-0 in the first 4+ innings of this game, and 2 more lefties facing them in the series. Tyler Flowers takes a walk.
Right fielder,
3 walks for Alex Wood tonight. Let's check and see when the last time that's happened for him. June 30th, he walked 3. When the Dodgers beat San Diego 10-4.
Well, this guy right here, a key part of the last inning when Wood thought he had him struck out, didn't get the call, and Nick later singled, setting in motion an inning in which the Braves got 2 unearned runs when Wood dropped a pop-up. How many more hits does Nick need?
He now needs 11 to get to 2,000.
I'd love for him to do it at home, but he may get those 11 before we get home. A real good chance.
No balls and a strike.
Braves have been able to lay off that high fastball tonight too, when he has been able to hit that spot.
The 1-1 pitch is rolled foul. 1-2 for Markakis, with Sean Rodriguez to follow. As Joe mentioned, Alex Woods faced the Braves before, gave up 6 runs, 3 unearned runs in Atlanta last April. 200 runs have cost him dearly tonight. And Grandal is running out of fingers.
Well, I wanted to see his signs. Mike Miller, our director, gave us that shot because it was just a couple of starts ago that the Dodgers and the Padres got into a big hubbub over Alex Wood, and the Dodgers feeling like there were runners stealing signs given by the catcher.
1-2 pitch. Little roller hit towards second. The Dodgers will make the play at first. Markakis advances the runners with 1 out.
Alex Wood took great exception to it, thinking that the runner at second base was conveying signs to the hitters. And that's been going on since baseball began. And typically, if an infielder senses it or a catcher senses it, then you go out and you change the signs. Instead, they almost got into a big bench emptying brawl when the managers were barking at each other.
And Dave Roberts actually shoved Andy Green, got suspended for that.
Right.
And there was some, Joe, as Rodriguez is going to be intentionally walked. The thing that had a lot of people concerned with the Dodgers was Alex Wood, I think, said to one of the Padres, you steal signs or you tell location, I'm going to drill the next guy, which is intent to deliver a message, which some thought, well, maybe Alex ought to be suspended for that. But I'm with you, stealing signs is as much part of the game as runs, hits, and errors. So great chance for Dansby Swanson to apply a dagger here, perhaps. The bases are loaded, 1 in, 1 out. Ball 1.
Every time he's been in trouble with runners in scoring position tonight, he's gone to off speed, trying to use the hitter's aggressiveness against him. It worked. in the first inning with Freeman, and it certainly worked with Kemp in the first inning. So on a 1-0 count, Dansby has the luxury for a couple of pitches if he wants to look for something off speed.
That is sliced out of play, foul. And count even now.
And he got one. Couldn't put it in play in fair territory, but he did get an off-speed pitch.
Ross Stripling is the Dodger reliever who's been warming quite a while. One ball, one strike. And Dansby fought it off, fouled it away.
Another one, 81 miles an hour. You don't have that luxury now. 2 strikes. You look fastball and adjust. We've got a long way to go in this game, and I realize this isn't Fenway Park, it's not Cincinnati, it's not Coors Field, but with the way the Dodgers swing the bats, 5 runs still, you don't feel real comfortable.
Yeah, for the LA team, that's a manageable game.
Yeah.
That's popped out of play, foul. Again, once we have that one covered, it's still a ball and 2 strikes. Wood about to make his 22nd pitch of the inning. And Dansby swings and misses. The other alarming thing about Swanson with this extended slump, the strikeouts are piling up again for him.
I just didn't. He wants to do something big there and help his team. But you gotta think along with the guy who's out there and watch and observe what he's been doing tonight, and ask other guys, what did he do to you? Was that off speed? Was that an off speed pitch when guys were in scoring position? You gotta have a plan up there on something like that with this guy and the way he pitches. And he got the pitches I thought he would get, but he wasn't looking for them.
Garcia lines one foul. Biggest play in the game might have been the dropped pop-up. You could just see the shoulders of the Dodgers slump in disbelief when Garcia popped one up on the infield that Bellinger never saw. Alex Wood at the first base line dropped it, and 2 runs scored with 2 outs.
This was a huge play. It was in the twilight. Popped up. Alex Wood saw it. Bellinger did not. So Alex took over and missed it. And 2 runs scored.
So it's 0-2. Jaime hanging tough. Braves have 5 runs in the bank.
99 pitches. The 3rd inning, 11 pitches were helped by a double play.
Fly ball belted deep right field. Puig going back. Track wall. It's a grand slam.
How about them apples?
If he's on the block, the price is going up. A grand slam on an 0-2 count. And Jaime Garcia, as I said earlier, one of these days he's going to run into one. He just hit a missile And Alex Wood, who'd given up 2 home runs all year, has given up 2 home runs in this inning.
To left-handed hitters. They wanted the high pitch, didn't get it, down the middle, and Jaime was on time. Not a cheapie either.
Woo. The Braves break it open. And Alex Wood, like the B-52s would sing in Rock Lobster, is down, down, down big. Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports out. The Braves baseball with you wherever you go. Presented by Nissan. It's not too often that I'm speechless, but I'm speechless as Jaime Garcia pitching a 2-hit shutout, having a American Legion game. Pitch a shutout and hit a home run. Well, how about a grand slam too?
How about a grand slam? And he's been putting good swings on the ball, as you pointed out, Chip, and fouled off, had a couple of good swings on the foul balls, and then got around on one a little better. This is Ross Stripling. He's been up and down 2 or 3 times, but he's been in 25 games. A lot of strikeouts in 42 innings. Right-handers having a good time with him, though. 9-zip.
Another amazing stat. The Atlanta Braves are all by themselves in one very unique number this year. First the pitch to, no pitch yet for Ender. The Atlanta Braves are the only team in Major League Baseball that is undefeated when they score 6 or more runs in a game.
I did not know that.
Deep short, Seager, gloves, fires to first, and the scoop by Bellinger in time retires the side. Jaime Garcia, it is your night. 9-0. Atlanta leads it.
It's a good night in the majors right now. Checking in with the minors. All of these teams picking up wins tonight down in AAA. Gwinnett 5 scoreless innings from Chris Medlin and Lane Adams. Check that out, 2 for 3 with 2 home runs. In Mississippi, Max Fried threw 3 scoreless innings, and Austin Riley with a home run as well. And in Florida, Touki Toussaint, 8 innings, 1 run, 0 walks, 11 strikeouts, and Braxton Davidson 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Chip and Joe, are you recovered from that grand slam yet?
No. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
And Touki Toussaint, maybe the best outing he's ever had. 11 punch-outs in 8 innings. Good for him.
So Garcia leads 9-0. He has to get through this inning with the lead to qualify for the victory. He's got Forsythe, Hernandez, and Grandal. Who would have thunk it that on this night, a night where many weren't sure that Jaime Garcia was even going to start this game, that his 2 at-bats are the biggest at-bats in the game.
Yeah.
As a result of Garcia's work at the plate, the Braves have scored 6 runs.
He's up to 7 RBIs. Gretchen just gave me a really cool piece of information. That's the first grand slam hit by a Braves pitcher, Atlanta Braves pitcher, since Tony Cloninger hit 2 of them.
Is that right?
In 1 game in 1966.
Wow. Strike 3 takes care of Forsythe. Garcia's got 3 punch outs tonight. 1 away.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let you play general manager for a second.
All right.
But just a second. Price of eggs has obviously gone up tonight for Jaime Garcia. Did his 5 innings, throwing a shutout, 2-hit shutout against the hottest team in baseball. 9-0 lead. You take him out after 5 innings and say, okay, let the phone calls begin.
You'd certainly be tempted to, wouldn't you?
I mean, it's not the general manager's responsibility. It's the manager's job to decide what's going on. But if the Braves are set on trading Jaime, his value is not going to be any higher than it is at the moment.
No question. And I would assume this day and age, with all the scouting, all of the statistical analyses, all of the sabermetric stuff, if you're going to be a general manager and you've got a player like a Jaime Garcia, and you know that everybody's looking for quality pitching this time of year, you're really caught betwixt and between in this regard. First the pitch to Kike Hernandez. It's a line drive into left field. A 1-out single as he slams on the brakes. You got to be a poker player, don't you? Because in your eagerness to improve your team, I would assume this far out from the deadline, there's always that nagging feeling in the back of your mind, well, did we trade him too soon? I mean, you almost always know if you trade somebody too late.
Right. There was one of those breaking balls that plagued him some during the season for that base hit. Yeah, you want to be without a chair when you're playing musical chairs in that regard.
So what's the oldest saying in baseball when it comes to trade making? Sometimes the best deal is the one you don't make. That means sometimes it's better off not to make a deal and acquire someone or trade someone, or maybe it's not the best time to make a move. So for the moment, the roll of the dice, if we are to assume that's the case by the Braves, to pitch Garcia tonight, well, that is paying off in spades so far in game 2.
Absolutely it is. And there's another element to this too. It's not just about player for player. Some of it's going to have to do with Jaime's salary. and who is willing to take on the rest of his salary, which is not insignificant. About $5 million left.
Yes,
approximately. So
that's poked down the right field line, slicing, and that's a fair ball. It'll bounce into the stands. Yasmani Grandal with an opposite field bloop double. And the Dodgers are at second and third here in the fifth inning with one out. And Yasiel Puig's coming up.
So part of any equation that takes place in any deal would, I'm sure, involve some of that money, assuming the rest of his contract or not. First time they've had a runner to third base.
Puig hit to a double play back in the third inning.
Loves the first pitch.
But doesn't love hitting lefties. A strikeout would be nice. Braves have the luxury of trading runs for outs with a 9-run advantage. And then stopped by Flowers. 1 ball, no strikes. Liked your comments about Yasiel Puig and how he's starting to grow up, assimilate himself culturally here. The North American game, not the Cuban game, and how much he and the Dodgers might be better for that. This guy's got a ton of talent. 1-0 pitch. Grounded toward third. Rodriguez will concede the run for the out. And Garcia says good play. Indeed it was. Puig puts it in play. That breaks the shutout bid. It's 9-1. So Austin Barnes is going to come on and pinch hit for Ross Stripling, who got the final out in the Braves' fifth inning.
Big slow curve.
Game like this, if that's a pitch that's giving you trouble, I would assume that this would be a good time to break it out and see if you can find something with it.
Well, not just that, but Barnes hasn't seen that pitch. Neither has any other Dodger player. So Barnes is up there looking for his sinker or slider or changeup, more than likely.
Ground ball to short. Dansby's got it. He is fired to first in time. And Jaime Garcia gives up one. He's in line to win. It's a 9-1 game going to the sixth.
All right, Dodger fans, it's time to check out the pictures.
6th inning for the Braves. He's had a breakout series against the Dodgers. 3 great plays with the glove last night. Already a run-scoring double in tonight's game. And the Braves enjoying a 9-1 lead as we get set for the 6th inning. And before Johan Camargo takes aim at a new Dodger pitcher, let's check in again with Kelsey Wingert.
Thanks, Chip. You guys pointed out earlier the sleeve that Johan Camargo is wearing. I was able to confirm with Braves trainer Jeff Porter that the sleeve is simply, like you guys said, to prevent hyperextension. It's just a little bit stronger than a normal sleeve, and that he's been wearing it for about a month now. Nothing serious, just to prevent anything like that from happening.
Good stuff, Kelsey. Thank you. This is Grant Dayton, just called up. The Dodgers designated Sergio Romo veteran reliever for assignment. Dayton's been like Stripling up and down. Boy, lefty's not getting anything off this guy.
Austin Barnes is going to stay in the game to play second base. That means Forsythe is out of the game. So in the, beg your pardon. Forsythe moves to third base. So Turner is the man that's out of the game for Los Angeles. Give him some rest in anticipation of game 3 here tomorrow night.
Dayton's got a low 90s fastball, a good curveball. Camargo will bat right-handed against him as well.
So the left-hander goes to work, and Camargo takes ball 1 high. Dayton's going to bat third on the Dodger lineup card, which means it'll be a 1-inning stint for him. And you can understand why Dave Roberts is going to set up his lineup card that way, I assume, for the following reason. The Dodgers pitching has been so good, he's got to worry about rust, not rest, for some of his relievers. So down 8 runs and 4 innings to play, he can get his relievers in inning apiece and hopefully keep all of them sharp for games 3 and 4.
Dayton had been out of action, had missed 11 games with neck stiffness.
Bouncing ball to the left side, and that's through for a hit. Forsythe took a step to his left and then slammed on the brakes. Camargo, another multi-hit game. A leadoff single in the 6th, the 10th Atlanta hit of the night.
When you hit a ball like this that gets through the infield, look at point of contact way out in front. That imparts a lot of top spin. It's hit sharply to begin with, but a lot of top spin, and when it hits that dirt, it shoots through there. And again, he barrels up another one.
So Freddie Freeman, the batter. A big day for Freddie. Whatever the virus is, it has not affected his bat. 4 hits in the first 2 games, 3 RBIs, and a 5th inning home run off Alex Wood. The first of 2 the Braves hit in the 5th inning. Wood had given up just 2 home runs all year entering tonight's action. The second homer, a grand slam by Jaime Garcia, who was subject of so many trade rumors beginning yesterday afternoon. And the first Brave to hit a grand slam since July 3rd, 1966, when Tony Cloninger hit 2 in the same game for the Braves against the Giants. Tony Cloninger, a right-handed pitcher on a team that had Hank Aaron, Joe Torre, and Eddie Matthews. He hits 2 grand slams. Incredible.
Nothing new about that. Always hits lefties.
Top fly out of play.
Grant Dayton, 29 years old. out of Huntsville, Alabama, and went to Auburn. Was drafted by the Marlins in the 11th round of the 2010 draft. Came to the Dodgers 2 years ago for Chris Reed.
One ball, two strikes. And Freddie lays off. It's 2-2. Arizona happy with this game to this point. They're beating Washington 5-4. That game's in the 7th inning down at Chase Field in Phoenix.
What were you telling me about that game, the way it started?
Well, Max Scherzer started the game for Washington. As this one's hit a mile high deep center. Hernandez going back to the warning track. He's going to have room. An hour ago, that's a home run. But the weather has cooled, and it knocked it into the glove of Kike Hernandez for the first out.
He just hit a ball almost 400 feet, but it might be time to give him a breather too.
Good point, especially in a 9-1 game. Yeah, but Arizona against Max Scherzer. Yeah, Max Scherzer, the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the National League. The Diamondbacks hit back-to-back homers to start the game. And they're leading in the 7th by a run.
How about that? I'll bet that got Max's attention.
You would think, right? Certainly got ours, because we're headed to Arizona next. The Diamondbacks got healthy against the Cincinnati Reds. They clobbered them in a series up at the Great American Ballpark. The Reds have given up 10 or more runs in 4 of their last 7 games since the break, and Arizona bombarded them a couple of times. Now they're back home where they've played great all year. 1 ball, no strikes for Matt Kemp. That smoked past Seager, who broke to his left. The ball went to his right.
That was interesting, wasn't it? This guy's a terrific defensive player, but he shifted his weight like he was going to cross over to his left, and the ball went to his right. Very odd.
So Dayton's been greeted rather rudely here in the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 out. And Tyler Flowers, the Braves catcher, is coming on. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th for the Braves. All of that damage against former Brave Alex Wood, who gave up 9 runs, 9 hits. Again, to put that in perspective, Alex Wood had given up 17 runs all year coming into action against the Braves tonight. A strike.
Braves have been very good on the road. They're now at 500 coming into the game tonight. They're 23 and 23. And coming into this game, they've won 11 of their last 16 on the road with 21 home runs. They've hit 2 more tonight. Great clutch hitting.
No balls and a strike. And that was tipped to Grandal. 0-2. Watch out for the Pittsburgh Pirates, folks. They just swept Milwaukee in a 4-game series. They're winning in Colorado tonight.
And they beat Colorado last night.
Fouled away. Milwaukee lost again. Philly beat them 6-1. So with Pittsburgh winning, if that score holds, they'll be 2 out of first. The Cubs were beaten by the Cardinals today. They're a game back.
Yeah, pounded by the Cardinals.
And St. Louis is 3.5 out. What a race the Central's turning into be. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. High fly ball, that's crushed. Tyler Flowers has gone to the pavilion. He hits a homer on an 0-2 count. This is unbelievable.
Suzuki last night, Flowers tonight. Catching core just continues to do great things. Tyler's 8th and his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th RBIs of the night. Foot down. There's a high fastball. Grandal got what he wanted. I don't think that's what Grant Dayton wanted. That was peppered.
That is a long way out there, boy. Whew. 12-1, Atlanta the lead. And now Markakis shoots one toward left, and that's out number 2. Sean Rodriguez, he's walked twice, he's scored twice.
15, Sean Rodriguez.
Atlanta's out hit the Dodgers 12-4. They've outscored them 12-1. This is what the Dodgers do to other teams. This has been a very rude awakening for them tonight. The 1-0 pitch is bounced toward third, and the scoop and toss to first in time, and that retires the side. The Braves have 2 big homers on 0-2 counts tonight. 12-1, Atlanta the lead. Big night for Jaime Garcia. A grand slam and a 1-run, 4-hit performance after 5 innings on the mound.
What a night. I guess that focused, determined look on his face was not an artificial one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Top of the order, Chris Taylor, who's 0 for 2 tonight. And that's taken low. Well, if the trade talk bothered Garcia, you wouldn't know. If it helped focus him, we won't know till after the game. The fact that he has been able to compartmentalize that and pitch and hit as well as he has in this game tells you that this guy is a pro's pro. He's pitched in the playoffs before. He's pitched in big games before. And so his fate as a Brave is out of his hands. What is in his hands is a 12-1 lead, and he's pitching like it's a 2-1 lead.
And that was a great change up there behind in the count.
To third. Nice pick. Rodriguez handled that hop cleanly. Good play. 1 out.
Nice read. Veteran player read that high chopper, knew he had to get to it before it bounced again.
9 ground ball outs for Garcia. And with this gigantic lead and the cooler air, he has the luxury of throwing it right down the middle if he wants and see if these Dodgers can hit it over the boards. Seager 0 for 2 with a 4th inning strikeout. Little bouncer. Freeman's got an easy hop. And that's the 2nd out. So here's the question for you. Garcia's spot is due 2nd when the Braves come up in the 7th. The guy's just hit a grand slam. He's got a 12-run lead. You got to let him hit again, don't you? One more time. See what happens.
I think you do. I think you owe him that.
So as we presumed, it's a 1-inning performance for Dayton. He gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, and the biggest hit, the Tyler Flowers homer on an 0-2 pitch. And Trace Thompson's going to come on and hit. That's taken a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Giants are winning tonight 6-5 over San Diego. Interesting note on the Giants. They've got Madison Bumgarner back, right? Madison Bumgarner has started 6 games this year. He hurt his shoulder in the motorbike accident and missed a couple of months. Bumgarner has pitched in 6 games this year. The Giants have lost all of them.
No kidding.
They have not won a game that Madison Bumgarner has started.
Well, maybe they should call John Coppola and see if they want to trade left-handers.
2 balls, no strikes. And popped up out of play. Two balls and a strike. And Jaime ready. Bounding ball to third. Rodriguez has it. And Jaime Garcia says to the Dodgers, come on and get some. He is having himself a great night. 12-1, Atlanta the lead after 6.
Our Padres fans, it's time for going ball presented by Padres.
showdown, the Braves and Dodgers, presented by Kaiser Permanente. You are seeing history tonight in Game 2 of the series. This is the most runs the Braves have ever scored in a game at Dodger Stadium. And it's also the most runs the Braves have scored against the Dodgers in any of their ballparks since the Braves were in Milwaukee and the Dodgers were in Brooklyn.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Tyler Flowers, a 3-run homer. Jaime Garcia, a grand slam. Part of a 12-run, 12-hit outburst. 9 of the 12 runs against Alex Wood. So Luis Avilan is on. He'll continue to try to tune up as he faces 8, 9, and 1 for Atlanta.
He had a good inning last night. 3 up and 3 down. Struck out Kemp. Ground ball from Matt Adams and a line out by Markakis right back to him.
Trace Thompson stays in the game to play center. Kike Hernandez moves to shortstop, so Seager's out of the game. Avilan will be placed second on the Dodger lineup card. So Turner and Seager, 2 Dodger veterans, getting the middle innings off with a 12-1 Braves blowout brewing in Los Angeles. So let's see if Dansby can get in on the fun. He is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd have a good night tonight. Hasn't happened yet, but might have 2 at-bats left. This one and then again in the ninth.
It is the ultimate catch-22, isn't it? When you don't play a lot, it's tough to keep your timing. And when you do play and you struggle, it's hard to give you more playing time. That's seemingly the cycle that Dansby's on right now. And it's made more noticeable because Camargo has done such great work. And that's what Brian Snitker's early explanation for the playing time that Camargo was getting. It had more to do with what Johan was doing than with what Dansby wasn't doing offensively. But Swanson up to 82 strikeouts now and 313 at bats.
Did you see what Johan's doing? He's watching video, I believe. Maybe it's another game. I can't tell who he's watching. It's obviously not this game, but he's watching some.
Looks like he's watching a pitcher scouting report from the Dodgers in the Miami series. Maybe he's trying to pick something out with Avilan. Ground ball to short. Hernandez charges and throws Swanson out.
That's exactly what it is. Good call. But I didn't know they had those devices in the dugout.
Yeah, I think that happened either this year or last year, where you can have all the technology and matchups and all that stuff on the, I don't know if they're Windows devices or if they're iPad devices. We just saw one of our last series where the iPad almost got destroyed by the ball.
That's true. I mean, it makes sense. They can have it down there in the tunnel where you can't see, no one else can see it. You know, why be silly and allow that if you're not going to let them see it in the dugout? So instant preparation against Avilan, and a guy he has not faced and did not face last night.
Well, as we wondered, it is going to be Jaime Garcia getting to swing the bat again. Why not? A dropped ball by Alex Wood in the 4th inning with Garcia up there turned into 2 Braves runs, and then on an 0-2 pitch in the 5th inning he hit a grand slam into the seats in right. The first Braves grand slam by a pitcher since Tony Cloninger in the Braves' first season in Atlanta.
Did you watch him run the bases at all? The only reason I say this is because I was in disbelief, and I looked down, and he had watched the ball, and as he rounded first, he kind of gave a small fist pump. But he was circling so wide that he almost overran second base. He had to make a sharp left turn.
Did he really?
To get back to second base.
I didn't see that.
But we'll give him some slack on that since he doesn't get to practice his trot that often.
Three balls, one strike. And now Avilan's got it full.
I mean, we got the answer to the question, at least in the way Brian Snitker's thinking right now, and that is obviously letting him hit for himself. No one throwing in the bullpen, so he's going out for another one. Save the bullpen another inning.
Fans having some fun here at Dodger Stadium. They've got their cell phones out as Avilan just walked in. What a night at the plate for Garcia. He reaches for the third time. They got the cell phones on and the lights on. And they're swinging the phones back and forth like you would do at a rock concert. So a one-out walk by Luis Avilan brings up Ender Inciarte, who's 1 for 3 as well tonight. A history-making game for the Braves at Dodger Stadium. Until tonight, they'd never scored 12 runs in a game here. And that's certainly understandable when you consider all the great pitching that the Dodgers have historically had. What's so shocking about tonight's game is that they ran into a man who started the season with an 11-0 record in Alex Wood. And like they did last night, they jumped all over him in the first inning and did not take their foot off the gas for a moment offensively.
And we didn't even get to half of the unbelievable stats and rankings for Alex Wood and what he's done so far this year. It's just crazy what he's been able to put together here in the first half plus of the season. And for the Braves to do what they did, they had a great approach. They were patient and they didn't miss mistakes.
He got jammed. Little roller to short. The turn is going to be late. Ender beats the wrap at first base. Garcia's forced at second. Braves will happily take that trade. It'll let Garcia get a little extra rest. And with 2 outs, here comes Johan Camargo again.
Let's
see if that scouting report video will help Johan in this at bat.
2 more hits, 2 more runs for Johan Camargo. He's got 3 hits in the series. Another thing to think about too with the crazy weather, the late game, the early start, back-to-back games against the Cubs and the cross-country flight. Pretty remarkable that the Braves were able to come out and play as effectively as they did yesterday. I think a good night's sleep did this entire club a lot of good.
Agreed.
In the dirt. For the Braves to finish up the second game of the series with the Cubs around 1:30 in the morning. Get almost no sleep, no recovery, and come back and play a noon game and then fly to LA and be as prepared to play as they were yesterday is a great testament to the character of this team. So quick game last night. Everybody looks rested and ready to go as Matt Adams is going to check in for Freddie Freeman, it appears, and that's
great
an excellent
idea.
call.
Good change up there from Avilan, whose fastball is in the low 90s up to 94, but a good changeup, occasional breaking ball.
The 1-2 pitch. Camargo took strike 3, and that sends us to the 7th inning stretch. All Atlanta in game 2.
Ball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Well, partner, midway through, it's always fun to go back and revisit your Ford keys to success for Jaime Garcia. If I remember correctly, one of them was duplicate your last outing, and the second one was bring your A game. I think you are 100% right tonight.
I think he has made that right because of the way he's played. And you know, throw out the grand slam if you want. We're not going to do that. But the way he's pitched tonight has been outstanding, and very low pitch count, inning after inning. Single-digit pitches about, I don't know, 5 out of the 7 innings. Pretty impressive, 5 out of the 6.
So let's see if he can roll through the 7th with a flourish. Matt Adams takes over for Freddie Freeman at first base. Look at Garcia's pitch total, just 73 tonight. As efficient as we have ever seen him in a Braves uniform. We have seen him pitch games like this against the Braves, most notably a couple of years ago in St. Louis, where he drove in the only run and beat Shelby Miller 1-0 at Busch Stadium. One ball, one strike, shift on for Bellinger, and that's taken low. Ball 2. Bellinger, Forsythe, and Kike Hernandez for Los Angeles. They're the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Dave Roberts. Rolled to the right side. Camargo, quick release, long throw, not in time. Will the Braves take a look at this? It was close.
I don't know if Dansby could have cut that ball off, but if he had the ability to, he needed to take that because of the shorter throw. You can become reliant on Camargo because of that great arm he's got, but he had to go to his right, plant, and didn't get much on that.
So for only the second time tonight, the Dodgers have a leadoff man on. It's the Dodger Club's 5th hit. Forsythe 0 for 2. Drives one to right. Markakis is Johnny on the spot. He's got it.
Isn't it interesting that the last 2 nights, every time the Dodgers seem to have something going, a couple of guys come up and swing at the first pitch and hit fly ball outs, and it's like take all the steam out of them.
Young team?
Could be. That could be part of it. Puig be impatient ever since he got to the big leagues. You're used to that, but some of the other guys, boy, they have not wasted any time.
Well, Jaime will happily take the outs. He's got an 11-run lead. A fly ball by Hernandez. That one's crushed. Ender on the run to the wall. It's off the fence. Streaking around and scoring is Bellinger. It's a triple for Kike Hernandez. And the Dodgers now have their second run. It's 12-2. That ball found another gear. Hardest hit ball of the night by a Dodger.
Hernandez has got some pop. He's got 10 homers. That was his 28th RBI. Pitch had the middle of the plate. He put a good swing on it. Man, he can run too.
Ender's mad he got too close to the fence. So 1 in, 1 out, 1 on. Grandal, the batter. He has an infield hit and a double. That was down and in. Ball 1. There's nobody up in the Braves bullpen. Garcia about to make only his 80th pitch. And with a 10-run lead, as you said, I think you're right, save as many innings for the Braves bullpen as you can. Little roller. Rodriguez will charge. He'll concede the run. Grandal puts it in play. Hernandez scores. It's 12-3. The Braves with a big lead gladly trade the run for the second out. Here's Puig. He's into a double play and he's bounced out to third.
Any opposing team that's watched this tonight and wanted to come here and be here to watch Garcia pitch knows that even though he's given up 3 runs on the board, the way they've scored 2 of them were on infield hits, that the infield grounders, that the Braves conceded the run for the outs. And as you said, only a couple of hard hit balls, including Hernandez's triple.
12 ground outs for Garcia, 3 strikeouts for Garcia. A couple of soft fly balls harmlessly hit. So as far as the out distribution goes, I mean, he's spread things around very effectively. So teams that are looking and want to know, can he get the ball on the ground? Yes, he can. Can he pitch with a lead? You know that's the case. Could he be a pinch DH in the American League? Well,
could be.
Could be. 2 balls, no strikes. The question is, who needs pitching? Well, you might say the Colorado Rockies.
Everybody
need pitching, especially a veteran who's been there before. And Puig walks on 4 pitches. It's about the only blemish for Garcia tonight, his first walk in the game. And here's Barnes again. He grounded out back in the 5th inning. The other teams that were rumored to have an interest in Garcia before tonight's play were the Astros and Kansas City. Houston, with their big lead in the division, like to add a veteran guy like Garcia. And Kansas City, you can't count them out. The Royals, who got off to such a bad start because they couldn't hit, have righted the ship. And Kansas City, only a game and a half behind Cleveland. Minnesota a half game back, and look out for the Tigers. They're 5.5 back at the start of tonight's play.
Well, then all of a sudden there starts to be a little bit of we can't let so-and-so get him because we're chasing them, or we're only a half game back of them. We better get him before the other guys do.
That's where that poker game comes in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Jaime's missed with 6 straight pitches here. Barnes, the 6th man he's faced in the 7th, and with that pitch, the Braves bullpen is beginning to stir in right field. fouled away. 2 balls and a strike.
After the trading deadline, you have the waiver period, trading eligibility before August 31st, before September 1st. And I remember years ago, Braves were trying to chase down, I think it was when they chased down the Giants, and Dennis Martinez went on the waiver wire, and the Giants were rumored to want him and need him.
Up the middle, that's into center for a hit. Dodgers aren't going quietly here in the 7th inning. That's the 3rd hit of the inning, and back to the top we go.
And the Braves claimed him. Braves claimed Dennis Martinez to keep the Giants from getting him, and then whoever had him at the time, whether it was Montreal or someone else, then they pulled him back so that he wasn't claimed.
And that also works the other way. I think the year it was Randy Myers who was available and had a big contract. And I want to say it was either the Braves or Toronto. They were in position to claim him, and I think Toronto thought the Braves were going to get him. They claimed him, and the Padres said, he's yours. They didn't really want him. They just wanted the Braves not to get him. They thought the Padres might take him back. Instead, they got Myers, and they got the rest of his very expensive contract. So, again, being a big league general manager, I would assume, takes a great deal of poker playing skills to do it effectively.
Good thing I can read your lips.
Chuck Hernandez makes his way to the Braves dugout after a quick meeting. Here's Chris Taylor, 0 for 3. Jaime's gotten Taylor 3 times tonight. He's 0 for 3. And a check swing strike.
He's had a great night. His line is going to look real good. He just doesn't want to give up anymore and have it soured a little bit.
Oh, 1 pitch. Hasn't thrown that pitch much. What a great spot to throw it there.
And you know, he's throwing it slower. It's like a slow curve instead of trying to throw that biting back foot slider that hangs so much. This curveball's been good tonight and effective because he hasn't used it a lot.
Two in, 2 on, 2 out. In the Los Angeles 7th, it's a 12-3 Braves game. Did he go? He went. And it's a check swing strikeout of Chris Taylor. And Garcia is through 7 innings. Atlanta 12, Dodgers 3. What a night for Jaime Garcia. Let's check in with Jerome with tonight's big story. After 7 innings. Jaime Garcia got some pats on the back as he made his way to the Atlanta dugout after striking out Chris Taylor to end the 7th inning. I presume that'll be it for him tonight. As the Dodgers go to their bullpen again, that's Josh Fields, who will become the 5th Dodger to work in tonight's game.
5-0 for him on the year. I'd say his timing's been good coming out of the bullpen. Another one of their guys out of the bullpen with a ton of strikeouts and low batting average against. A lot of cutters from this guy, and he throws hard. They're hard cutters, 95 to 98 with a curveball on top of that. So he's just getting some work.
Trace Thompson in left. Jock Peterson moves into the game for the first time. He'll play center. And Josh Fields, the pride of UGA. And foul back. If memory serves, the Braves drafted him and he didn't sign.
Yeah, you'd be right.
And then eventually was selected by the Mariners in the first round in 2008. Went to Boston with Eric Bedard for Trayvon Robinson and Chi Sien Chang. Don't remember him. 2012, Houston got him in the Rule 5 draft. And then the Dodgers got him from the Astros on August 1st last year for Yordan Alvarez.
He's got a good arm. Changing teams that often is kind of odd, but he's found his stride here, as so many pitchers do under the tutelage of Rick Honeycutt.
Must be a North Georgia thing.
There you go.
A Jedi Master from Ringgold, Georgia, dealing with Josh Fields out of the University of Georgia. So in the 8th, it'll be Adams, Kemp, and Tyler Flowers. Was the 7th inning, the final inning thrown by Jaime Garcia in a Braves uniform? Won't know. If it was, it caps a brilliant record-setting night for the Braves left-hander.
Clinching just told me that the last time the Braves scored this many runs on the road against the Los Angeles Dodgers, it was in Ebbets Field, 1957. And in that game, a man pitched well, had a good night offensively. Ernie Johnson pitched 3 innings in that game and went 1 for 2 with a double.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm. Big iron.
Okay, 1957 was a very good year for the Braves, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Matt Adams. Towering fly ball toward Jock Peterson, who drifts back and makes the catch. Moonshot for Adams.
Just missed it. 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
And you know what? I'm just happy that Matt's able to run as freely as he is after that collision at the plate last night. That was potentially very ugly.
He said it really hurt. Kind of went numb. His left knee went numb for a second, but it was okay as time went on.
So Fields gets the first man. Here's Matt Kemp. It's been a happy homecoming to Dodger Stadium for Matt. 3 hits in the series, 2 of them tonight. And Kemp has also scored a couple of runs. And that's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Ian Kroll has started to throw in the Braves bullpen, so figure it's 7 and out for Jaime Garcia. Another hit by Kemp to right. Love to see that.
Well, we showed those batting averages, what he is against on different pitches. Fastball, he's hitting a ton. He got a 97-mile-an-hour heater and laced it to right.
So the Braves have 13 hits tonight. And this crowd of 46,083 has been very, very quiet.
Well, they're still here, but they are waiting for fireworks that have not come from the Dodger dugout.
They sure have from the Braves, though, tonight. And a shot to left on a line, a sinking line drive handled by Thompson. And Tyler Flowers is out number 2. Hope you'll join us Saturday, August 19th. The Reds will be in town. It'll be a post-game concert, a free post-game concert presented by MC Hammer. Braves.com, your place for all key information.
That will be Hammer time. I bet you had some of those Hammer pants too, didn't you?
I'm almost embarrassed to say yes, but yes.
It's okay.
Extra medium. Popped up by Markakis and into the seats foul. Well, fans may not remember, MC Hammer was a big-time baseball executive with the Oakland A's. Stanley Burrell is his non-stage name, and he was hired by Charlie Finley, who owned the A's at the time, to be his eyes and ears on the ground in Oakland. Because Mr. Finley lived in the Midwest and didn't attend every single game. I don't know how old MC Hammer was, but how cool would it be to be 22, 23 years old, I'm just guessing, and be able to walk and say, I'm a vice president of the Oakland A's.
Yes. Not even sure he was in his 20s.
Might not have been. One ball, one strike. And Markakis shoots one toward left. That ball is going to be dropped by Trace Thompson, who tried to make a one-handed play. And that's a sloppy play.
Yeah.
And Atlanta will try to take advantage of that. Markakis reaches for a third time. That should have been the third out of the inning. It'll be an error on Thompson.
That was just a little too cool for school.
So Fields will try to pick up his left fielder. And Sean Rodriguez will try to pick up his first hit as a Brave. He's 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 8 for the year. He has reached twice thanks to a couple of walks. And he scored 2 runs. And he whistles that one into the seats foul. Arizona hits in the Washington hits in the 9th inning, tied 5-5 with the Diamondbacks.
Nice comeback.
Rescue Max Scherzer, who was down 3-0 before he got an out tonight. A 1 pitch. As you know, the Nationals upgraded their bullpen with Ryan Madsen and Sean Doolittle. Doolittle picked up a save against Anaheim the other day.
He's been very good this year.
The 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed. swing and a miss. Fields with that good fastball takes care of Rodriguez. The Braves strand a pair in the 8th inning, and we salute Jaime Garcia, who turns things over to the pen. Slam! What a grand night for Jaime Garcia. Tyler Flowers added a 447-foot homer too. Freddie Freeman's hit a homer tonight, and the Braves have bashed the Dodgers 12-3 through 7.5 innings. Jaime Garcia, the first Brave to hit a grand slam as a pitcher since Tony Cloninger did it in the 1966 season. And he departs after 7 brilliant innings and gives way to Ian Kroll, who's on for the 39th time.
Great job by Jaime. Wonderful. Kroll worked a couple of days ago against the Cubs, but just a third of an inning. Zeros across. The outing before that, 2 days before that against the Cubs, a rough outing. An inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, and a homer.
Jock Peterson leads off and takes ball 2. Peterson, Thompson, Bellinger, the Dodger trio coming up.
Ian's gone into a rough stretch. He got off to a rough start, had a couple of big innings early in the season, so he was kind of whittled down on that ERA as he went along. And then when you're out there for just sometimes a third of an inning or so, it's kind of slow going. So he got it whittled down quite a bit. But his last 9 innings.
To left, and Danny Santana, who just checked in.
His last 9 innings, he's given up 21 hits and has a 7 ERA over that stretch. So he's bumped it back up again. You know, we talked, and rightfully so, about the good play, good defense by Camargo last night in the game-ending catch, but Danny Santana made a big catch on a line drive last night too after he came in defensively.
That's an excellent point. As you said, shades of the Oakland series. He made a couple of great grabs. And a strike to Trace Thompson. He grounded out in his lone at bat. Back in the Dodger 6th inning. Trace's brother is Klay Thompson, big NBA star. And there are some who've compared this Dodger team to the Golden State Warriors and their relentless pitching and defense and offense. A machine-like approach. And I will say this for Dave Roberts, he is not shy about boasting, and rightfully so, about how good his team is. And he's not doing it in an arrogant way, but I think it's a very confident way. Look, we are the best team in the National League, and we expect to be the best team, and the Dodgers expect to get to the playoffs and advance deep into the playoffs.
They have the pieces to do it.
And we have not even seen the best part of their bullpen yet. We have not yet seen that man who will pitch on Sunday. When you think about Kenley Jansen and the incredible work that he has done finishing off Dodger wins in the 9th inning. I mean, just crazy Stratomatic numbers as Thompson swings and misses. Kenley Jansen's pitched 41 innings this year, 62 strikeouts.
Number 35.
He's walked 2 guys.
Took him forever to walk his first guy.
Right. So with all due respect to the greatness that is Kenley Jansen this year, I hope we don't see him this entire series.
That'd be nice. Good pitch there by Ian to get the strikeout. Good inning so far.
Here's Bellinger. He scored one of the Dodger runs tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. Jaime Garcia gave up 3 relatively inconsequential runs tonight. Phillies gave him a 9-0 lead. Actually, he gave himself a 9-0 lead. hit the grand slam and hit the pop-up that would drop. That accounted for 6 of Atlanta's 12 runs. But boy, was he good. Faced the minimum for the first 3 innings. There were just 27 pitches in those 3 innings. The fans are getting fired up because somebody launched a world-class paper airplane from the upper deck that almost got to the field of play.
He got right to the backstop and turned around.
Well, a lot of the Dodgers hitters have done that too, so that's understandable. And another one bounced off the backstop.
What is this, Boeing night?
Two balls, 2 strikes. And here it is. It's outside, full count. I like the paper airplanes a lot better than the beach balls. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And it's bounced towards short. It hit off the third base side of the mound. And that takes care of Bellinger, and Kroll has a perfect 8th inning. We go to the 9th inning. Atlanta leads at 12-3. 12-3 is tonight's score at Dodger Stadium. Most runs ever scored by the Braves in this beautiful Southern California ballpark. And for Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt, back to the drawing board. It has been a long time, Joe, since they've been beaten on back-to-back days.
Boy, what a season you're having if you got to go back to early June and only have a 3-game streak to kind of interrupt things, and all the way back to late April for a game in which Alex Wood started to find a loss.
Going back through the Dodger notes, the last time they lost back-to-back games at home was June 5th and 6th when Washington beat them. And the only other time at home the Dodgers have back-to-back losses was early in the season when Arizona beat them twice, and then Colorado in the first game of a 2-game series. So one 3-game losing streak at home, one 2-game losing streak at home, and the Braves trying to win the first 2 here tonight. They have been dominant. As Dansby Swanson goes to work and smokes one towards center. Peterson drifting back is going to have room. Hard hit ball. Dansby's hit it hard twice in a row, but he's retired to start the 9th inning. So Swanson 0 for 5 tonight.
Appeals number 23, Danny Santana.
Danny Santana gets an at bat. This may seem like an inconsequential time at the plate for Santana, but with all the left-handers the Braves are facing, I'm guessing you might see Santana in the lineup in one of these final 2 games with the Dodgers out west. Chance to get him acclimated and hopefully keep him sharp if needed.
I think Brian Snitker's done an excellent job of that, keeping his bench players ready.
And that'll bounce into and then out of the Braves dugout. Game 3 here tomorrow. We join you an hour earlier. Julio Teheran and Rich Hill. You know how good Julio has been on the road this year, and Rich Hill's been very good against the Braves historically.
Yeah, if he doesn't have those blister problems crop up again. Shadows will be an issue at a 6:10 local start.
So with 3 more outs to get and a 9-run lead, the Braves are a half inning away from getting back to within a game of evening up their record. The Braves started play tonight at 46 and 48 and playing great ball against the West. Santana's retired, back to the top, and Ender Inciarte.
Yeah, we were laughing at the paper airplanes. Fans are making them rather rapidly now. They're coming out of the upper deck one after another. They used to have a promotion at the old Kingdome in Seattle. After the game, car dealer sponsored it.
Inciarte to center.
They park a car between home plate and the mound, roll down the windows. If you could throw a paper airplane from the upper deck into the car, you win the car.
Wow. Bring it back. Let's see if somebody can do it.
Boeing engineers were everywhere.
Fifth, it's presented by Xfinity. The first 20,000 fans will walk away with that great-looking replica of Freddie Freeman taking his patented left-handed stance. Join us at SunTrust Park and get your tickets at Braves.com.
2 for 4 tonight with a long home run. Still battling a flu bug, but playing great.
And great that Freddie got out of the game after 6 innings to get a little rehydration, I'm sure, get a little rest. You know he'll be back in there tomorrow against Rich Hill as we take a peek at Akil Morris. He's pitched 4 scoreless appearances.
Boy, he's got a good arm too. Throws hard. Excellent changeup.
And now the paper airplanes are really flying. One just landed in the warning track near the Dodger on deck circle. One's out in right field by Nick Markakis. As Forsythe leads off and takes upstairs. Ball 2. Good inning for Ian Kroll. See if Akil Morris can have an uneventful ninth. Braves bullpen pitched 2 2/3 scoreless innings last night. A run like that would be appreciated. As you know, in July, the Braves pen has had some trouble. But tonight they have the luxury of a 9-run lead. And Forsythe didn't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Way up and in. And 92 miles an hour, 3-2 your count. Leadoff walk. You know he's not trying to walk him, but with a 9-run lead, throw it down the middle and see how far he can hit it.
It's his first big league walk.
So Kike Hernandez, the batter, as you said, Joe, the ball jumps off this guy's bat. 2 hits, 2 runs, and a Dodger RBI. Hernandez, Grandal, and Puig, the Dodgers with runs batted in tonight. Pops back toward us. And into the seats. Fly ball toward left. Right at Santana, who hardly had to move. Hernandez hit it off the end of the bat. There's the first out in the 9th inning. Braves are 2 outs away from earning at least a split in the series. Here's Grandal. He's 2 for 3. I mentioned it in our conversation with Jerome on Braves Live last night. Game 1, Atlanta snapped the Dodgers' 11-game team winning streak. Tonight, they're 2 outs away from snapping Alex Wood's 11-0 start to his season. What will the Braves have in store for us in Game 3 tomorrow night?
Just keep snapping stuff. Doesn't matter.
Right? No balls and a strike for Grandal. And Akil missed. Arizona walked off Washington. They beat them 6-5 tonight.
That's good.
Arizona could get to within 9.5 games if Atlanta finishes this one off.
Yeah, it's kind of good and bad. Trying to chase down Washington, or you're trying to catch up in the wild card to Arizona and Colorado.
Cubs got blistered by the Cardinals today. That snaps their 6-game winning streak.
What was that, 8 runs in the 8th inning?
Fly ball well hit. Santana on the run, says he's got it. He does. 2 outs. Yeah, they got 8 runs, Joe, before they got an out.
Wow.
And the Cardinals, players and staff alike, were absolutely getting roasted in the St. Louis newspapers today for the way they lost that game against the Mets in New York. I mean, when they start breaking out Cardinal way and embarrassing and all that stuff, that is a big-time warning sign. And John Mozeliak said as much in the papers as well today. The Cardinals playing, by their standards, unacceptably unsound baseball. But they picked up a game in the standings, picked up a game on Milwaukee and the Cubs, and won big in Chicago 11-4. Yasiel Puig with 2 outs. And fouled back to the screen, even count. So at this point, I think it's safe to say the ball is in the court of John Coppolella, the Braves general manager. I'm sure his phone has been ringing tonight. I'm sure it'll be ringing tomorrow. With regards to the man that started the game, Jaime Garcia, you can't play or pitch much better than he did tonight.
Very special night.
And under, I'm sure, very difficult circumstances. So like the rest of Braves country, we'll wait and watch and see what happens. The 1-2 pitch is hit a mile high, but well out of play.
Does it seem to you that Yasiel Puig might be a little trimmer than he used to be? Slimmer? I use the term slimmer loosely. I mean, he's really a strong guy and put together, but doesn't seem to be as tight,
muscle bound
and bound as he was in his upper body.
I don't know if the Dodgers will give up on him or if they would consider trading him. But you look at that guy physically, there's a great baseball specimen right there. Can Puig put it together consistently and be a star is the question. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, and that is your ball game. Akil Morris just struck out Yasiel Puig. He's got another scoreless appearance. And the Atlanta Braves have come to Los Angeles, and they have put a hurting on Los Angeles. They beat Alex Wood, who suffers his first loss of the year. Atlanta hits 3 homers, Flowers and Freeman. But it's Jaime Garcia, Joe, who hits the grand slam and has the big night tonight.
Well, they got started early again. They got 2 in their first inning and didn't look back, just as they did last night. They did not give up the lead, just kept adding on.